Good morning everyone. Welcome back to GK Today. And today we'll be discussing most important MCQs for 2nd of August 2023. Let's start with our session. Fangon Konyak, who was seen in the news recently, is a member of parliament from which state or the union territory? First of all, let's see why she was in news. Because recently she created history as the first female representative from the state of Nagaland to assume the position of Rajya Sabha chairperson. So House Chairman Jagdeep Dhankar had nominated her along with 3 other women members to the panel of vice chairpersons for the very first time. Also in 2022, she became the first woman to be elected to the Rajya Sabha from Nagaland, and also she is the second woman from the state to be elected to the Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha or the State Assembly. Okay, so that's why she is important, and recently she has created history by being the first female representative from Nagaland to assume the position of Rajya Sabha chairperson. So here correct answer would be Nagaland. She is from Nagaland. Also, a few days back we have seen that Michelle Bullock has become the first female head of the Central Bank of Australia. This name is quite important. Then apart from it, Mr. Devendra Kumar Upadhyay has been named as the new Chief Justice of the Bombay High Court. After that, Nisha Biswal is the new Deputy CEO of US International Finance Corporation. Fine. Now, if we talk about the Nagaland, a famous festival is celebrated here, the name of which is Hornbill. Right? Hornbill is celebrated in the state of Nagaland. Then another festival that we have discussed few days back is Raja festival, and it is celebrated in the state of Odisha. Then one more is Kharchi Puja, and Kharchi Puja is a festival from the state of Tripura. Okay. And talking about Nagaland, who's the current Chief Minister? Nefurio, and Governor is La Ganesan. Fine. Next question is, Madhei Wildlife Sanctuary is located in which state or the Union Territory? So this sanctuary is a designated protected region that lies in the state of Goa, and it is situated on the western ghats of southern India. Why it was in news? Because recently the Goa bench of Bombay High Court instructed the Goa government to declare this Madhei Wildlife Sanctuary and other regions that were mentioned in the National Tiger Conservation Authority communications and plans that was prepared by the Goa Forest Department as a tiger reserve under the Wildlife Protection Act within a period of next 3 months. Okay. So that's why this wildlife sanctuary was in news, and it lies in the state of Goa. Let's see a few of the important wildlife sanctuaries. The first one is Bharatpur Bird Sanctuary, and it lies in the state of Rajasthan. Second is Chilka Lake Bird Sanctuary, and it is from Odisha state. The third one is Chinnar Wildlife Sanctuary, and it lies in the state of Kerala. Then the fourth one is Gir National Park and Wildlife Sanctuary. Everyone knows it, and it lies in Gujarat state. The fifth one is Govind Wildlife Sanctuary, and it is a part of Uttarakhand state government. Next one is Madumalai Sanctuary, and it lies in Tamil Nadu. And one last is Periyar Wildlife Sanctuary, and it lies in the state of Kerala. Okay, these are the different wildlife sanctuaries that we have to remember. Next question is, which is the first African country to initiate a debt for nature swap? So recently the country Gabon has made history by being the first African country to initiate a debt for nature swap. And this country intends to purchase a minimum of $450 million of its government debt in exchange for an environmentally sustainable blue bond. Okay. So this is the first African country to do so, and it is Gabon. Now apart from it, X-59, which is also known as Son of Concorde, is an experimental supersonic aircraft of which country? So as we know that NASA is gearing up to conduct the test on its latest experimental supersonic aircraft, the name of which is X-59, there is a serious anticipation for a potential supersonic revival. And this advanced aircraft has the potential to traverse any 2 locations on the globe in just 2 hours, raising hopes for a return of supersonic travel. Okay, so this is an experimental supersonic aircraft of the country USA. Fine. Hwasong-18 is the missile of which country? Answer is North Korea, and this is an intercontinental ballistic missile. After that, don't forget that Japan is the second Quad partner to sign the semiconductor pact with India, which is the first country in Quad countries. This is USA, right? Now apart from it, don't forget that recently China has launched the world's very first methane fueled space rocket. You can be asked that which country has become the first in the whole world to launch a methane fueled space rocket. So that country is China. Next question is, Seine River, which was seen in the news recently, flows across which particular city? So River Seine in Paris will soon welcome the swimmers and divers back for the first time in nearly a century as it enters the last phase of an unprecedented cleanup effort. So it was prohibited for almost a century because of pollution. So government is investing nearly $1.6 billion in the Seine regeneration project, which is being praised universally as a triumph. Okay, so this river flows across the city Paris. Now apart from it, which rivers serve as the predominant border between the US and Mexico? This is Rio Grande River, and it spans nearly 3051 kilometers. It flows from Colorado to the Gulf of Mexico, and it serves as the predominant border between the US and Mexico throughout most of the Texas. Why it was in news? Because recently the US Justice Department filed a lawsuit against the state of Texas and its Republican governor for placing floating barriers in this river to impede the migrants from crossing over from Mexico. Okay, so this river was in news. So you can be asked that which river serves as the predominant border between US and Mexico. So that would be Rio Grande River. Then apart from it, the Gulf Stream system, which was seen in the news recently, is a system of ocean currents that circulates water within which particular ocean? So this is AMOC. Basically, AMOC is a system of ocean current that circulates water within the Atlantic Ocean, bringing warm water north and cold water south. So according to a recent study, there are indications that the Gulf Stream system, which is also referred to as the Atlantic Meridional Overturning Circulation, means AMOC, could experience a collapse by the end of 2025, leading to severe climate consequences. Fine. Simply you have to remember that the Gulf Stream system is a system of ocean currents that circulates water within the Atlantic Ocean. Fine. Next question is, which country hosted the recent session of the Commission on Genetic Resources for Food and Agriculture? So during the 19th regular session of the Commission on Genetic Resources for Food and Agriculture, that was held at the headquarters of Food and Agriculture Organization, which lies in Rome, Italy, a significant accomplishment was the establishment of a technical working group that was dedicated to the genetic resources of microorganisms and pollinators. So this intergovernmental working group, which is known as MIGR, was formed during the 5 days long meeting, which saw the participation of more than 250 attendees. Fine. So which country has hosted the recent session of Commission on Genetic Resources for Food and Agriculture? Answer would be Italy. Then which country hosted the International AIDS Society Conference on HIV Science? So World Health Organization presented updated scientific and normative advice concerning human immunodeficiency virus, that is HIV, during the 12th International AIDS Society Conference on HIV Science that was held in Australia. And United Nations Health Agency additionally requested the nations to incorporate mpox detection, prevention and care into current and novel HIV and sexually transmitted infection prevention and control initiatives. Fine. So which country has hosted the International AIDS Society Conference on HIV Science? Answer would be the country Australia. Fine. Also, which country has recently hosted the ASEAN Countries Conference on Traditional Medicine? This is the country India. Okay. The Operation Southern Readiness Exercise is hosted by the country Seychelles. And in this, from India side, INS Sunaina went there to participate. Okay. Then, which city was the host for Medium 2023 exhibition? The full form is Middle and East International Dermatology and Aesthetic Medicine Conference and Exhibition. And the venue was Dubai. Fine. The next question is, budgets are chimney-like structures which are indigenously designed in which country? So in the desert city of Yazd in the country Iran, residents have indigenously designed tall chimney-like structures called wind catchers or budgets. So it draws in the cooling breeze to provide relief from the extreme heat that often exceeds 40 degrees Celsius during the summers. And these architectural marvels are a sustainable and eco-friendly alternative to energy-consuming air conditioners, making them both cost-effective and carbon-free. Fine. So these are indigenously designed in the country Iran. Now, apart from it, as per recent research, which mass extinction is expected to be more severe than previously anticipated? So recently a research has been published in Biological Reviews of the Cambridge Philosophical Society, and the planet's sixth mass extinction fueled by human activities may trigger a rapid biodiversity imbalance. And after studying more than 71,000 animal species across 5 strata, which include the mammals, birds, reptiles, amphibians, and insects, the mass extinction is expected to be more severe than previously anticipated. Okay, so sixth mass extinction is expected to be very severe. Then apart from it, the Khelo India's National Program for Development of Sports scheme is being implemented from which year? So Khelo India's National Program for Development of Sports scheme is a central sector scheme that is implemented since 2016, and the promotion of rural and indigenous tribal games, which is subcomponent of this scheme, assistance is being provided to different tribes in various aspects, and these include infrastructure development, equipment support, coach appointments, coach training, and athlete scholarships. Okay, simply you have to remember that the National Program for Development of Sport scheme is being implemented from the year 2016. What are the denominations of the commemorative coins to mark India's G20 presidency? So in honor of India's G20 presidency, the government is set to unveil 2 special commemorative coins valued at 100 rupees and 75 rupees respectively. And both the coins will adhere to a standard weight of 35 grams each, and they have a diameter of 44 millimeters. This figure is very important. And the face of both the coins will bear the loin capital of Ashok pillar in the center with the legend Satyamev Jayate inscribed below, and Bharat would be printed in Devanagari script, and on the right periphery with the word India in English. Fine. So what are the denominations of the commemorative coins to mark India's G20 presidency? Answer is 75 rupees and 100 rupees. Now if you see some news regarding G20, let's see few of the important things that can be asked in your examination. First of all, which city was the host for the G20 Development Ministers meeting? This was Varanasi. Then G20 Supreme Audit Institution Summit was hosted by the state Goa. After that, the second G20 Anti-Corruption Working Group meeting was hosted by Rishikesh in the state of Uttarakhand. Then The third G20 Sherpas meeting was recently hosted by the state of Karnataka, where in Hampi. Okay. Then G20 finance ministers and central bank governors meeting was held recently in Gujarat. These are the 5 news regarding G20 that can be asked in your examinations. World Health Organization has recently reported a fresh incidence of MERS-CoV in which particular city? So World Health Organization has recently reported a fresh incidence of MERS-CoV in Abu Dhabi city, and in 2012 Saudi Arabia was the initial country to identify the Middle East respiratory syndrome coronavirus. Okay, so recently it has been reported in Abu Dhabi. Also, few days back, I think 2 to 3 months back, World Health Organization has declared 2 of the countries as totally malaria free countries. And which are these countries? The first one is Azerbaijan and the second one is Tajikistan. Okay. Next is Dr. Maud Helmy, who was seen in the news recently, was associated with which particular field? So recently Google Doodle has honored the 122nd birth anniversary of Dr. Maud Helmy, who is an Egyptian German medical professional who was born in 1901 in the country Sudan. So despite the risks during the Holocaust, Dr. Helmy saved several Jews from Nazi persecution in Berlin. Okay, so that's why Google Doodle has honored him and he is associated with medicine. Can you tell me the highest civilian award of the country France has been given to whom recently? So this award has been presented to Tata Sons chairman, who is N. Chandrasekaran. After that, who has recently received the highest honor of the country Germany? This is Angela Merkel. Okay. After that, Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, Mr. Yogi Adityanath, has been honored with Bharat Ratna Dr. Ambedkar Award. Then Georgy Gospodinov has received this year's International Booker Prize and he is from the country Bulgaria. Okay. Next question is, India's NSIL is scheduled to launch PSLV C56 mission with the primary payload of which country? So New Space India Limited, which is the commercial arm of ISRO, revealed their second consecutive commercial space mission, the name of which is PSLV C56, which was scheduled to launch on 31st of July, and the mission's primary payload is the DSSAR satellite from Singapore's Defence Science and Technology Agency, and it is intended for satellite imaging applications by Singaporean government agencies. Okay, so it carried the primary payload of the country Singapore. And now the last question says, which country holds the presidency of COP28 conference? So in preparation for the COP28 conference, the UAE presidency and the International Energy Agency held the initial high-level dialogues, focus of which is to create an energy transition that was aligned with 1.5 degree Celsius target. And this effort is a joint undertaking with the International Renewable Energy Agency, and it will receive support from the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. Fine. So COP28 conference would be hosted by UAE. Don't forget that India is to surpass the country US to become the world's second largest economy by the end of 2075, and this was the Goldman Sachs report. Okay. Also recently, Forbes has released its 100 richest self-made women list, in which 4 women have been featured from India. The first one is Jayashree Ullal, second is Indra Nui, the third one is Neha Narkhede, and fourth is Neerja Sethi. And their ranks were, Jayashree Ullal was at 15th position, then Indra Nui was at 77th position, Neha Narkhede's rank was 50th, and Neerja Sethi was at 25th rank. Overall, the first position was occupied by Diane Hendricks. Okay. So these are the most important current affairs and the news from today. And now let's start with today's quiz. Here on the slide you can see 5 questions which have been taken from the past 2-3 days current affairs. Pause the video and try to solve each of these questions, and at the end of the lecture Do not forget to share your scores in the comment section. So please be honest and do not cheat with yourself. So that's it for today. I hope you have liked the session. These were the important news and events from today, and we will meet again tomorrow with some more important current affairs. Till then, stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching, and please do not forget to subscribe to GK Today. With this, Meenu Hadsana signing off.